Hello viewers, if you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. Also, click on the bell icon so that you get the latest information about the videos that are uploaded. Hello students, welcome back to the new video. In this video, we are going to continue the ongoing chapter number 2, Microorganisms, Friends and Foe. In today's session, we will discuss the role of microorganism in increasing the soil fertility and cleaning the environment. First of all, we will discuss the role of microorganisms in increasing the soil fertility. Some of the microorganisms present in the soil can fix nitrogen gas from the atmosphere to form nitrogen compounds. Students, in the first chapter, we have learned that the importance of nitrogen in the growth of plants. Plants need nitrogen to prepare the nutrients other than carbohydrate like protein. And also you know that the plants are growing in a pool of nitrogen. That is, nitrogen is there in the air. Major gas present in the air is nitrogen. But plants cannot absorb nitrogen gas directly from the atmosphere. Here the importance of microorganisms arise because some of the microorganisms present in the soil can fix this nitrogen gas from the atmosphere and form nitrogen compounds. Therefore, the microorganisms are very important in the growth of plants. These nitrogen compounds mix with the soil and increase the soil fertility. Okay. So, the nitrogen compounds prepared by the microorganisms can mix with the soil and increase the soil fertility. Now, let us see which are the specific bacteria that can fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere. Rhizobium bacteria and cyanobacteria, which is called as blue-green algae, are able to fix nitrogen gas from the atmosphere to enrich the soil with nitrogen compounds and increase its fertility. So, they are called as biological nitrogen fixers. See children, here all microorganisms cannot do this work of fixing the nitrogen. Then which bacteria or which microorganisms are able to do it? Examples are Rhizobium bacteria and cyanobacteria. This cyanobacteria is also known as blue-green algae because they are aquatic. Therefore, the blue-green algae name is there, but it is not a kind of algae. They are able to fix nitrogen gas from the atmosphere so that the nitrogen compounds enrich the soil and increase its fertility. So, they are called as biological nitrogen fixers. That is, which are the examples of biological nitrogen fixers? Rhizobium bacteria and cyanobacteria. Why are they called so? They are called biological nitrogen fixers because they can naturally fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere and convert the nitrogen gas into soluble nitrogen compounds which can increase the soil fertility. Blue-green algae are used as fertilizer in agriculture as they store nitrogen compounds made by nitrogen fixation in them. So, blue-green algae, that is cyanobacteria, are used as fertilizer in the agriculture because they store nitrogen compounds made by the nitrogen fixation in them. The addition of blue-green algae to barren fields increases the nitrogen content in the soil and makes it fertile. So, blue-green algae, that is cyanobacteria, is used as a fertilizer. When it is added in the barren fields, that is, it is not in fertile lands, it can increase the nitrogen content in the soil and makes it fertile. Rhizobium bacteria present in the root nodules of leguminous plants like peas, beans, etc. also fix atmospheric nitrogen and increase soil fertility. So, yet another example is Rhizobium bacteria. Where do we find Rhizobium bacteria? In the root nodules of leguminous plants like peas, beans, etc. See, root nodules means if we take the pea plant and wash the root properly, we can see some small bulb-like structures in the roots of these plants. They are known as root nodules. And why they are bulged? Because of the presence of rhizobium bacteria, and they fix the atmospheric nitrogen and convert that into nitrogen compounds, and they store these nitrogen compounds in the root nodules. Okay, so they are known as nitrogen fixing bacteria. So rhizobium bacteria can fix atmospheric nitrogen and increase the soil fertility. Now we will see the role of microorganisms in cleaning the environment. Some microorganisms like certain bacteria and fungi decompose the organic matter, that is dead plants and animals and animal waste, and convert them into simple substances which mix up with the soil. So, what is the role of microorganisms in cleaning the environment? You have already learned that something about decomposers. Okay, some microorganisms like certain bacteria and fungi, what they can do? They can decay or decompose the organic matter. What are organic matter? The remains of dead plants and animal waste. That is anything that comes from the living things. That is known as organic matter. So this organic matter can be decomposed or decayed by the certain bacteria and fungi and convert them into simple substances. And these simple substances can mix up with the soil. Therefore, why these simple substances are so important? Because these simple substances contain plant nutrients which are again used by new plants for their growth. So, after the decaying of the organic matter, whatever substances are formed, they contain the plant nutrients, and these nutrients are again used by the new plants for their growth. So, in this way, we can say that the plant nutrients are getting recycled by the action of these microorganisms. Since microorganisms decompose the harmful and smelly dead remains of plants and animal waste into harmless material, they clean the environment. So, how do we say that they are cleaning the environment? Because these microorganisms decompose the harmful and smelly materials like dead remains of plants and animal waste. If it is remained there, it will give lots of smell and other harmful bacteria can grow on it. But these microorganisms decompose these materials and convert into harmless material. So we say that they clean the environment. Hence, these microorganisms are called decomposers or natural cleansers. So, why do we call certain bacteria and fungi are natural cleansers? Because they decompose the dead remains of plants and animals and also animal waste and convert into harmless material which acts as the manure for the new plants. Therefore, they are known as natural cleansers. In addition to cleaning the environment, microorganisms also help in recycling the nutrients present in the dead plants, dead animals and animal waste back to nature, which can be used by green plants to prepare food by photosynthesis. So, microorganisms are not only cleaning the environment but also help to recycle the nutrient. How? Because the nutrients of which the dead plants, animals and animal waste are made is decomposed by these microorganisms and convert them into simple substances that can be absorbed by the green plants. And you know that green plants need nutrients and minerals to make their food by photosynthesis. So we can say that these decomposers helps to recycle the nutrients. If there were no microorganisms called decomposers, then the environment would have piled up with dead remains of plants and animals, and recycling of nutrients would not have taken place. This shows the importance of decomposers in our environment. Okay, so the decomposers, the microorganisms called decomposers, play a very important role in cleaning the environment. If there were not there, then the environment would have been a pile of dead remains of plants and animals, and also the recycling of the nutrients would not have taken place. That means once if the nutrients are used up by the plants, then it is over forever. Now let us discuss an activity to understand the role of microorganisms in the decomposition of organic matter. For that, take two pots and mark them as A and B. Fill each pot half with soil. Take some plant waste such as fruit and vegetable peels, fallen leaves, etc. and bury them in the soil in pot A. Now bury an empty glass bottle, polythene bag, plastic toy, etc. in the soil in pot B. Keep both the pots aside for 3 to 4 weeks. So for this activity we need two pots and mark them as A and B. And then we have to fill both the pots with the soil. Half of the pot must be filled with the soil. Then take some vegetables and fruit peels and fallen leaves, etc. that is plant waste, and bury them in the soil in pot A. Now take an empty glass bottle, polythene bag, plastic toy, etc. and bury them in the soil in pot B. So we have taken the organic matter in pot A and the empty glass bottle, polythene bag, plastic toy, etc. and buried them in the pot B. Now we have to keep both these pots aside, that is side by side, and keep it for 3 to 4 weeks. After 3 to 4 weeks, we will find that the plant waste buried in pot A have been decomposed. The microorganisms present in the soil decomposed and converted the plant waste into manure. So after 3 to 4 weeks, if we check both the pots, we can see that in the pot A, these plant materials are not found anymore. They are all decomposed. So who has done this work? The microorganisms present in the soil. What they have done? They have decomposed these plant materials and converted this into manure. We will find that the glass bottle, polythene bag and plastic toy did not undergo any change and remained as such. At the same time, if we check the soil in pot B, we can see that the glass bottle, polythene bag, plastic toy, etc. remains as such without undergoing any change. So what does it shows? The microorganisms could not do any change in these materials. This is because microorganisms present in the soil are not able to decompose and convert them into manure. So what we have seen, these microorganisms called decomposers cannot decompose or decay the materials like glass, plastic, polythene bag, etc. The microorganisms present in the soil can decompose only the organic material like dead plants, dead animals and animal waste and convert into manure and clean the environment. See, that is why we say that organic materials are biodegradable. That is, they can be decomposed and converted into manure by the microorganisms present in the soil. From this activity, we get a very important inference. What is that? We should not use plastic or any other inorganic material and do not throw plastic waste like polythene bag or toys in the soil. Now, did you get the answer for that? Because these materials are not biodegradable. That is, they cannot be decomposed by the microorganisms. They remain in the soil as it is forever. Therefore, it can cause the soil pollution. So, we should either reduce or try to avoid the use of plastic materials. We should always use the biodegradable material in our daily life. So students, I hope you have understood the topics very well. But still, if you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section. I will surely try to solve it as early as possible. Here are some review questions. Please solve it in your notebook. Thank you.